My name is John Pierre. I do masters.
What I'd like for you to do right now, I want you to think about your dream. Think about your dream right now. I want you to think about it and envision it. I do not believe that any of us have dreams that were not given to us for the purpose of accomplishing those particular dreams. I don't know what that dream is that you have. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. That dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible. See, sometimes we can't say, I can do that. But what we can say, that it's possible that I can have my dream as we run toward it, as we work on it day in and day out, working on my dream. And I want you to think about whatever your dream is, because I was willing to take a chance, and most people won't do that. Most of the people that you talk to try and bring them into the business, these are not risk takers. Most people have done all that they're ever going to do. They raise a family, they earn a living, and then they die. But people who are running toward their dreams, life has a special kind of meaning. That in the process of working on your dreams, you are going to incur a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, a lot of pain, a lot of setbacks, a lot of defeats. But in the process of doing that, you will discover some things about yourself that you don't know right now. What you will realize is that you have greatness within you. What you'll realize is that you're more powerful than you can ever begin to imagine. What you will realize is that you are greater than your circumstances, that you don't have to go through life being a victim. Most people don't work on their dreams. Why? One is because of fear, the fear of failure. What if things don't work out? And the fear of success. What if they do and I can't handle it? The other thing is that most people, ladies and gentlemen, they get comfortable. They stop growing, they stop working on themselves, they stop stretching, they stop pushing themselves, and they end up becoming very cynical about life, and they throw in the towel on themselves, on their families, and on their dreams. And the other thing is that most people don't feel worthy. What I'm doing now, I could have been doing years ago. But because I did not have a college education, because I didn't believe in myself, because I allowed other people's opinion of me to control my destiny, I didn't act on my ideas. So I applaud you for your dreaming, for your running toward your dream. I applaud you for believing in yourself, because that's what life is about. Stretching and challenging, looking for ways that you can begin to improve yourself, of stretching out, of acting on my dream. And I don't know what that dream is for you. I can tell you that it's possible. No one could have convinced me that after just over 6 years, I will have my own book entitled Live Your Dreams. Just over 6 years, I would have 5 specials on public television. Just over 6 years, I've done motivational speaking for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, Xerox, IBM. Just over 6 years. I will now have my own talk show that will premiere on Monday, Labor Day. I'm saying to you, your dream is possible. And not only is it important for you to know it's possible for you to choose your future, but it's necessary that you work on yourself, that you develop yourself. It's necessary that you get the energy drainers out of your life, people who don't want anything, people who are not striving, people who are not challenging themselves, people who aren't growing, people who have stopped dreaming. It's necessary that you align yourself with people and attract people into your business who are hungry, people who are unstoppable and unreasonable, people who are refusing to leave life just as it is and who want more. It's necessary that you get the losers out of your life if you want to live your dream. It's necessary to know that everybody won't see it, that everybody won't join you, that everybody won't have the vision. It's necessary to know that a lot of people like to complain, but they don't want to do anything about their situation, that you are an uncommon breed. You know, you have to know within yourself that I can do this. Even if no one else sees it for me, I must see it for myself. That's necessary. Be creative when you're working on your ideas, that you understand the importance of changing up, of readjusting your strategies. Many times we can have a great idea, but if you're not advancing it in the right way and things don't happen, you become discouraged and think the idea doesn't work. No, that's not true. It's necessary that you be flexible, that you are always thinking of how can I improve this better, that no one can do it for you but you. And even though you face disappointments, even though you will experience some setbacks, it goes with the territory. You must understand that. The next thing that's important to know, yes, it's possible that you can choose your future and direct the course of your life as you run toward your dream. It's necessary that you have goals, that you write those goals down, that you plan, that you think constantly of how you can begin to improve what it is that you're doing. If it's your presentations, if it's your recruiting skills, whatever that is, it's also necessary that you look for ways to always find a way to pull it out when everybody else thinks that you are defeated. That you've got to take personal responsibility to know that in order to become successful, you've got to make it your personal business to do it. It's possible. I can live my dream. It's necessary. I work on myself. Surround myself with winners. Become creative. It's me. I've got to make it happen. It's not over until I win. It's not easy. It's hard changing your life. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
It's morning, and the day is filled with endless possibilities. We're so glad to have you listening. Have a fantastic morning. Fantastic Radio UK, home of the Afropolitan.
I woke up this morning, my heart is gladdened, I'm joyful, I'm peaceful, I'm very confident of the things that the weekend, the days ahead brings to us. It's 12 minutes past 7 on this beautiful Monday morning. My name is Kojo Bonti Amwako. I'm glad you were here. I am very, very, very glad that you were here. The date today is the 11th of April 2022. Before we move any further, I want to find out how you're doing. How are you keeping with work? How are you keeping with the family? How are you keeping with everything that you're doing? Can I pause for the next few, save by a second, to really hear from you, knowing how you were doing? How are you? How's the family? How's work? You well? Work is good. Have you returned back into the office, or you're working from home? Or you work with the National Health Service? Or you run your own business? To all of us running businesses, and to those who work from home, and those who work as doctors with the National Health Service, the essential workers, I pause this morning to say good morning to you and thank you for the brilliant and the fantastic work that you guys do. Welcome you to this beautiful, powerful, productive weekend I had. I've been out there doing bits and pieces, spending time with family, but most of all, preparing for the week for work and also for other projects that I'm involved in. What have you been up to? How was your weekend? Your weekend was good? What have you been up to over this weekend? Did you go play rugby? My friend's son went playing rugby yesterday, so we went in to watch him play rugby. It was beautiful. I enjoyed it. It was a beautiful rugby game. I really enjoyed it. Let's get into things this morning. It was Vidal's son who said the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. Love this quote. Beautiful quote. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. My guest today is going to be a lady who we met through the coaching port, and she happens to be the community manager or community director who does brilliant work on the coaching port. And we had short time in talking, but I've been on her website, seeing what she does, and I felt she would have to join us and share with us, for those of us who are looking at having career changes, for those who are working but looking at building themselves with the industries they're working in, how they can excel in that area of work. She comes in as a career coach. She does executive coaching. I've been reading over the weekend what executive coaching is all about. When she comes through, she will break it down and let us understand what it's all about and how we can also access her services, how one can access her services. I welcome you to this morning, but I also want to welcome you to this week building it, the hope of possibilities. I am very confident that this week is going to be very good. I don't know. I have this feeling that it's going to be a very, very good week. Yes, I'm an eternally optimist person, but I have this conviction and hope, and expectation is the word. I say I have this expectation that this week is going to be a beautiful and a productive week. What do you see for the week? What's your expectation? What do you see? What's your sensing? Over the weekend, I was reading a book about futuristic thinking, visionary, and running into the future. I'll get an author and get it to you. One of these is somewhere here. And the author mentioned that it's important for us to be expectant, be expectant of good things, and good things comes to us. It talks about how our minds becomes the magnet that attracts and brings things to us. My question to you this morning is, what do you expect for the week? What are your expectations on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? By a week today, what would you want to have achieved? What would you have wanted to achieve? What is it that you are looking to work on, or what is it that you are working on that you have this conviction, belief, peace in your heart that on Friday you would have been able to do? I welcome you to this morning's Fantastic Mornings, and also thank the production team, Kerry, Kirsty, Allegra, and most of all, Mr. Sina Hamidi, for the work that you guys are putting in. Over the weekend, I transferred some money to my loved ones, my loved ones over the to Ghana, and also two friends of mine came to visit, and we were having a chat. And one of them said, I had to send money to my mother in Jamaica. And, he just said it randomly. I said, why don't you world remit it? Just world remit. He said, what did you mean? I said, yeah. There's no point in wasting time and going anywhere to transfer the money. All you need to do is to world remit it. Just go on the website, www.worldremit.com. And he said, really? I said, yeah, just go on your phone. Just get the app, go on there, just download the app. Or you go on their website, www.worldremit.com, and he went in there less than 5 minutes. He just sent the money, and bam, the person there got it. The person confirmed and said, look, I've got the money. It was such a straightforward work. So if you are looking to send money to your loved ones in the Caribbean or across the continent of Africa, please look at that, www.worldremit.com. Let's do music. 18 minutes past 7. When we return, I'll share a few things with you. And my guest, Anna Gordon from www.careerfreedom.com, would have been in here, and we would have a beautiful conversation. I welcome you, and I want to thank you. For those who are subscribing to our YouTube channel and all our platforms, I want to say thank you. You can find us on Twitter, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Instagram. You can go on all the app stores, download our app, Fantastic Radio UK. You'll be able to find us. Let's do music. We'll be right back, and after that, I'll share with you a few things I've also prepared for you. Anna Gordon is my guest today. We're going to have a beautiful time. Her website is www.careerfreedom.com. What do you say? I'm speaking too fast. Okay, then I take my time there. www.careerfreedom.com, Allegro. All right, then let's do music. We'll be right back right after this. Thank you.
You can reach Fantastic Radio UK sales on WhatsApp on 079 6141 7150 or email us sales@fantasticradio.co.uk.
Hello?
You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I could sing. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Wait.
A mobile top-up card and 2 helium balloons,
just a
£17.
clown who picks you up each time you're down. Oh, baby. Wait.
Making your girlfriend laugh,
Right.
however far away she is.
Me just a
Priceless.
love to build
There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, accepted for all kinds of tricks and treats.
Yeah.
You will see me as the world's greatest living artist. My creativity will leave you speechless with admiration. You will be delighted to clean my brushes because you know every sketch, every painting will be a priceless masterpiece. My work will adorn every wall. Your home will become a shrine to my genius. Because I am your toddler, and these are my rights.
To further develop your toddler's talents, check out Mothercare's latest range of arts and crafts and educational toys. Mothercare, for that magical, messy process called parenting.
My name is Tony Anthony John Higgs. I've had throat cancer. They've come in and removed my voice box. This was caused by smoking. Don't smoke. Do not smoke.
Anthony Hicks also found it difficult to listen when people warned him to stop smoking. Sadly, he died of throat cancer last year. For help giving up smoking and details of your local NHS Stop Smoking service, call 0800 169 0169.
Drive slowly. Even slower than that. I demand you drive well below the speed limit. And be careful. 10 times as careful. And look at everyone else on the road as if they're homicidal maniacs. In fact, I insist you drive more cautiously than you did on your driving test, because I am your newborn baby. And these are my rights.
If your newborn's making you more safety conscious than ever, check out Britain's most popular place to buy a car seat. Mothercare, for that nerve-wracking, heartwarming process called parenting.
Start your morning with optimism, believing your possibilities. Thank you for choosing Fantastic Radio UK. Your music, your possibilities.
Your music, your possibilities. I'm so glad. I'm excited. Very, very excited this morning because we're going to learn a thing or two. A thing or two we are going to learn. I'm glad you are here, and I'm glad that you made a time in joining us. It's 27 minutes past 7, and my special guest today happens to be a lady who I met through the coaching port. She happens to be the community manager for the coaching port, a fantastic platform. I've always recommended you going on there, checking it out, getting to know what the coaching port is all about. But this woman comes from the career freedom coaching business, coaching.com. That's her website. I will tell you more about her, but her mission really is to walk alongside you and help you experience the freedom to be yourself. One, have the career you long for, and develop an authentic, successful leader. What is holding you back with your job, your career, and what energizes you? My special guest this morning is going to break it down, share with us what executive coaching is all about, what coaching approach does she use, and how one can use her services. In fact, I loved her to break it down, why one needs a coach and the importance of getting career coaching. Don't forget, she has a 15 minutes discovery call that you can call, get to know how you can use her services. I would suggest you go on her website. Before we even go anything, get to www.career, CAREER, freedom, as in FREEDOM, coach.com. Her name is Anna Gordon. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a pleasure this morning to introduce to you my guest, Anna Gordon. Good morning to you, Anna.
Hi, Kojo. It's lovely to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
How are you doing today?
I'm very well. I'm a little bit croaky, but I'm thrilled to be here.
Right. Let's get straight into our conversation. I met you I met you on the coaching pod, and we've been talking briefly, getting to know ourselves and also getting to know what you're doing. Why does one need to get a coach or getting coaching in their career?
I think working with a coach can give you clarity if you feel stuck, or if you feel that you're not progressing as much as you want to. It really helps you get clear on what your values are. These are the things that act as a compass for you in your life, in the kind of decisions that you make about your career. So it really, working with a coach can help you put together a kind of plan to help move you forward out of being stuck.
Right. We're going to go deeper into that and how one can also access your services. What led Anna Gordon into coaching, and what really prompted you to start the Career Freedom Coach platform?
Well, before I became a coach, I was a public servant, and I worked in the public service for many, many years. And I suddenly realized that there must be something else. And I just had that kind of grumbling feeling that there was something else, but I didn't know what it was. So I took the plunge and I left my job. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I gave myself 3 months. And in those 3 months, I did a lot of self-reflection. I didn't work with a coach. I wish I had, because it would have been a lot quicker. And I moved into higher education. And that's where I've worked for about the last 8 years, in addition to my coaching. I work as a career coach and consultant in higher education.
And did you enjoy it?
My previous work?
Yes.
I did. I mean, it helped me get clear on my values and what was important to me, and it gave me some great experience. But there came a point when I knew there was something else, and it's really interesting because you can get stuck in your head trying to think things out, whereas really you need to have someone you can bounce ideas off of and to actually start experimenting and trying things out.
Right. My special guest is Anna Gordon. You go www.careerfreedomcoach.com, and Anna will come back and we'll be breaking it down why one would have to look at getting a specific coach. Does one need to have a specific coach, or what does one need to do? Let's do music. When we return, Anna will break it down for us, and I would love her to go into executive coaching, how one can go into executive coaching, and why one needs to get a coach as they progress in business or as in work. Let's do music. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Today is not just another day. Today is another chance to make your possibilities come true. Fantastic Radio UK, home of possibilities.
Before a hotel can be listed as one of Travelocity's hand-picked hotels, it has to be checked out by one of their team of specialists. These are people who are actually paid to check out some of the finest hotels in the world. They earn their living by lounging around the pool, sipping champagne from the minibar, and munching those itty-bitty chockies the maids leave on your pillow. Who do these people think they are? Alan Wicker? Travelocity.co.uk. Hello, world.
ATOL protected.
Oh, hi. Can you tell me where the sausages are, please?
Certainly, madam. They're next to the Danish... bacon, just over there. For more bacon taste, look for the Danish sizzle on your supermarket's own packs.
Ode to Boobs by Pip Bishop. Dear Boobs, this heartfelt apology goes out to you all for moaning you're too big or moaning you're too small, for wishing you didn't hang like puppies in sacks or just disappear when we lie on our backs, for squashing you flat with a minimising cup or those torture bras that push you right up. Why is it always your bad points we mention? Like your inverted nips or your water retention? Why don't we love you as much as our men or the babies that love you all over again? Maybe we're scared to show you we care, in case one day you're simply not there. Make it up to your boobs with some breakthrough breast cancer TLC. Touch, look and check. To find out more during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, visit breakthrough.org.uk.
Wicker here in Kenya, thanks to my friends at Travelocity.co.uk. I'm enjoying a trip in a helium balloon. And talking of helium, it is the perfect stuff to help me tell you all about Travelocity in a very short commercial.
Travelocity is an absolute sweetie of an online travel agent. We have flights from 700 airlines. We have Fare Watcher that'll alert you when flights to your chosen destinations come up at the price you set. You can hold your flights on 400 airlines for 24 hours before committing to them. Travelocity.co.uk. Hello, world.
ATOL protected.
The empowering conversations with our guests, the riveting music we share with you. Thank you for choosing Fantastic Radio UK, home of possibilities.
Welcome back, home of possibilities. My name is Kojo Bonti Amwako. My special guest is Anna Gordon, who comes from careerfreedomcoach.com. Anna, welcome back. Why did you name your domain name Career Freedom Coach? Talk to me about that.
That's a really good question, Kojo. I've never been asked that question before.
Okay.
I thought a lot about what to call my domain, and I realized that the two things, the thing that was really important about a career is the freedom to enjoy it. And so many people are stuck in a career that absolutely, doesn't leave them any kind of joy. And, that's a fact of life. But if you had the opportunity to do some work so that you were able to identify some, a job or a career that really played to your strengths and the things that energize you, that's really what that's about, the career freedom bit.
I hear you. Thank you for sharing that. So then the person you work with, professionals who are looking at moving forward in their career, people who work in different spaces, and you help ambitious professionals who wants to progress in their career but feel blocked. What do you mean by the blocking, and what is about the limiting that your clients, or most of your clients or people that come to you, what are some of the blockages that they seem to experience?
Well, it could be someone who's perhaps is applying for different roles, internally to to progress within their company, and nothing's happening. They might be getting interviews, but they're not getting the roles. What is behind that?
Right.
So I'd work with that person to look at their interview technique, to look at how they present themselves, their personal brand, how they approach the questions in that interview, to see what it is, because they could be making the same mistake each time. And they could be a perfect candidate, but they're just not presenting themselves in the interview in a way that that gets them an offer.
So then we can be very educated, very formally educated, very, very informed of a role. But when you get into that environment and you haven't been coached and prepared mentally, and also gotten your branding right, your personal branding right, you can also lose the job. Is that what we're saying here?
Some people, can do fine in interviews, but there will be people who really just need that bit of support. In just understanding how to present themselves in the best way possible,
right,
and how to give answers that are comprehensive and that present them in the best possible light, to position them well for that role.
The reason why I'm loving this conversation with you, I did not get a coach. At the time, I was working with a company, and I got a job, went in there. But I noticed one of the chaps who worked with us is John Ailings, the PR agency in London. One of the gentlemen who we worked with, I don't mind, he wouldn't mind me saying this. I realized that he was quite, he knew exactly what he was doing. Anna, he knew exactly what he was doing. He would come into meetings supremely prepared. He was brilliant. I did wonderful. We did fantastic well. But it was one day when I asked him, I said to him, you seem to be really ahead of the curve with what we are doing here. What is going on here? Is it something you're reading? Do you go somewhere? Do you have some kind of powers? What's going on here? You seem to be right ahead of the curve. What is it that you know that we don't know? Guess what he said? He said, I have got a career coach. And I said, what do you mean? What's that? This is about 15 years ago. And he said, I've got a career coach. I said, what's that? He said, well, the career coach literally holds your hands, gives you the pointers. Have you considered this? Have you considered that? And I felt right. That is why when we met and you started talking, I felt, our listeners needs to hear this. And he excelled. Now, when one comes through to the career freedom coaching to use your services, what kind of model do you use? Of course, there are principles and steps that you use, but what do you use in holding their hands and supporting your clients?
So, Coach, I don't like putting labels on people or putting them into boxes.
Okay.
So I will work with my clients, and I will use lots of different frameworks and lots of different models if that's what's going to help my client.
Okay.
So it's a very holistic kind of career coaching. I'll get to know what my client needs, what they're trying to achieve, and then I'll decide on the kind of frameworks in a collaborative way with them. I do like to work very creatively. So I want to make people think differently about how to do things, because thinking the same way that they've always thought is not going to change things for them. So I'll get them to look at things from different perspectives. I'll get them to think about things differently. And I like to use a lot of creative kind of techniques to help do that, to bring out things that are perhaps hidden to them, because everyone has blind spots. And it's trying to make people aware of what those blind spots are. Just mentioning back to the interview, one of the things that people do underestimate is the value of their soft skills. And these are intangible skills.
Right.
And there's things like communication skills, team working. And I always also get people to not look at their job title, but look at the skills, the transferable skills they bring with them.
I want you to do two things. Talk to me about that soft skill. What do you mean by the soft skill? And when you finish with that, Anna, sort of dive into the transferable skills. Talk to me about that.
So the soft skills are key employability skills. So you'll have your professional qualifications, you'll have your academic qualifications, and you can see those as the kind of building blocks. But the things that hold those things together, the glue, are the soft skills. And these are things that lots of employers are saying people aren't bringing with them. And so I think it's so important for people to recognize the soft skills that they have. So communication skills, organizational skills, relationship building skills, interpersonal skills. You know, I've worked with lots of students who have work in hospitality and retail, and they really underestimate those skills. But put into another environment, those skills are incredibly valuable to an employer. So I will get people to really become more self-aware of the transferable skills, which can be brought from sector to sector, from job to job, industry to industry.
Right.
And it's just about presenting those soft skills to an employer.
I want to ask this because it could be an area you work with, or people that you work with, or it could be an area that you work in. So the person has finished university, they've come up, they work, they want to get into certain industry. How does career coaching help that person who just come off university, say a year or two, and they want to get in there but not too sure the direction, and they want to also access coaching? How do they tap into that, and how does that help the graduate?
I think coaching for early careers can be really valuable, because it can really help you put together a sense of what your short-term goals are, your mid-term goals are, and your long-term goals are for your career. Give you a sense of, you know, what's your personal brand look like? What does your network look like? Where does it need strengthening in terms of the career that you want? What are the relationships you need to be building? What are the professional bodies that you could be connecting with? So it's really putting together a kind of plan to help them move forward. And also in terms of their leadership skills, how they can be developing their leadership skills. And Kojo, you don't need to be in a leadership position to show leadership.
I like that. You don't have to be in the leadership position to show leadership. It's leadership. Leadership, my understanding to leadership is it's a way of life. It's a mindset. It's a way of getting things done and making sure that you don't come up with excuses. Just do what you're supposed to do and get on with it. You don't have to be the director, or you don't have to be the boss, as sometimes we label people who are leading. But leading, again, is, for me, my understanding, is a mindset that one would have to develop. Anna, going to still with career, do you use or do you recommend this thing I read over the weekend as prepared for this conversation, psychometric test? And what's your view on that?
So psychometric testing is used for selection in lots of graduate schemes, for example, and lots of large organizations use it. And really what they're for is to get a sense of what you think and what you believe.
Right.
Lots of larger employers who run graduate schemes are not so interested so much in your actual degree subject. They are very interested. They're very interested in how. Obviously, there are some kinds that they are, but most of them, they just want you to have achieved a certain level, maybe a 2-1 in your degree, but they are very interested in how you think and how you behave. And that's what the psychometric tests do. They help explore that.
Her name is Anna Gordon, coming from careerfreedomcoach.com. And you go on her website, www.careerfreedomcoach.com. I like this domain name, careerfreedomcoach.com. You go on there. There's a lot of information. You get to know what she does, the bodies that she's registered with, and how you can access the services. We'll be taking sort of a dive. We'll come back, and I'd love her to break it down. Two things, but before we go for that break, the 15 minutes discovery call I read on your website. What is it about?
Well, you know, Kojo, coaching is an investment in yourself. And I think it's good to have the opportunity to talk to a coach and just get a sense of whether the kind of support that you need is something that they are able to help with. And it's just an opportunity for you to sort of get to know the coach a little bit better, the coach to get to know you, and discuss the kinds of goals that you might have.
Her name is Anna Gordon. You go www.careerfreedomcoach.com. We're taking a break. We'll be right back for her to break it down what executive coaching is, and the person in work who's looking at having a career change, what they would have to do. Every information that you need to know. I know those women will have it sharing with us. Let's take a dive. We'll return. Her name is Anna Gordon, my special guest from careerfreedomcoach.com. We'll be right back after this.
This is an intercultural exchange and an intercontinent experience. FANTASTICRADIO.co.uk, home of possibilities.
Wicker here in Kenya, thanks to my friends at travelocity.co.uk. I'm enjoying a trip in a helium balloon. And talking of helium, it is the perfect stuff to help me tell you all about Travelocity in a very short commercial.
Travelocity is an absolute sweetie of an online travel agent. We have flights from 700 airlines. We have Fare Watcher that'll alert you when flights to your chosen destinations come up at the price you set. You can hold your flights on 400 airlines for 24 hours before committing to them. Travelocity.co.uk. Hello, world.
Asshole protected.
これがキャドブリークリームエッグ。キャドブリークリームエッグバッグ。
キャドブリークリームエッグバッグ。
中は何？グーというものだ。
グー。
じゃあ皆さん一緒にエッグマイスタ
ー。エッグミスタ
ー。違う。エッグマイスター。
エッグマスター。
マイスター。
モスター。
マイスター。
マイスター。
あー、ダメだこりゃ。
Cadbury Cream Egg. Your happiness loves Cadbury.
I reserve the right to strip naked in your garden. I reserve the right to put my clothes on backwards in the morning and to wear my palest dress when I'm painting. I reserve the right to remove as many of my clothes as possible when you've just dressed me. And however long you've taken to get me ready, and however nice I look, I reserve the right to swap my clothes for some wellies, a tutu, and a policeman's helmet, because I am your toddler, and these are my rights.
If it's time your toddler had a stylish new outfit, check out our latest fashion ranges at Mothercare. Mothercare, for that exasperating, enchanting process called parenting.
If I can grab it from you, it's mine. If it's in my hand, it's mine. If I like it, it's mine. If I'm building something, all the pieces are mine. If it resembles something that's mine, it's mine. If you lent it to me on the tacit agreement I would give it back, I won't. It's mine. Unless I've broken it, then it's yours. Because I am your toddler, and these are my rights.
If it's time your toddler had a few more things to call their own, you'll find famous names in toys and games at Mothercare. Mothercare, for that challenging, rewarding process called parenting.
Connect with Kojo on Twitter at BontiAmoaco or on email bonti@fantasticradio.co.uk.
You're very much welcome back. Thank you for choosing us on Britain's home of possibilities. My special guest today is Anna Gordon, who comes from www.careerfreedomcoach.com. Anna, before we went on the break, I wanted you to break it down what executive coaching is all about. Over the weekend, I've been reading bits and pieces, but I wanted to hear from you, breaking it down. What is it about?
Well, Kojo, executive coaching is really coaching leaders, and there may be leaders who've just come into a leadership role. They may be more established leaders. And leadership's a really interesting thing because different cultures and different leaders will take different approaches to it. But basically, the end goal is getting a group of people to follow your lead and accomplish something. And as a leader, it's really important to understand what your leadership style is, which one works best for you, but also being able to pivot into different styles when the situation needs it. And that is something that will enhance your effectiveness as a leader. The pandemic's been very interesting in terms of leadership because pre-pandemic, a lot of leadership was about performance and achieving certain goals. Now, when we live in this very kind of VUCA world, one that's volatile, one where things happen in an unexpected way, it's chaotic, ambiguous. Leaders need to be able to navigate complexity and ambiguity now. And they need to provide psychological safety for the people in their teams. So how you show up as a leader is under a lot of scrutiny. And so it's a real test to be able to be an effective leader, not just of other people, but of yourself. In terms of your own self-leadership. How well do you know yourself, your strengths, your values? That all affects how you respond to the challenges and how you make decisions as well.
I'm guessing that when a person comes through to Career Freedom Coach, as in your platform, or they come through the 15 minutes discovery, you point that to them of self-leadership. I know you share or you speak on personal branding and the importance of getting your psychology right to step into certain environment, but I guess you speak on self-leadership. You do that.
Do you know, Kojo, it's so important to be reflective as a leader. Self-awareness, self-acceptance as a leader as well. There may be things that you're not so fantastic at. Not to sort of hit yourself over the head with a big stick, but to have some self-compassion and work on those things. Right. Leaders need to be able to regulate themselves. They need to provide this psychological safety to their team. So they need to be able to manage their emotions in a healthy, positive way. And they need to, to be invested in their self-care and self-growth. So there's a lot of things around self-leadership, but developing some kind of reflective practice is really important.
No, Karen, you're going to say something. Please, Karen.
What reflecting maybe at the end of a day. what went well today, what didn't go so well, what would I do differently? It's a really fantastic practice to have for anyone who wants to develop their leadership skills.
It's 57 minutes past 7 and we doing Fantastic Morning. My guest is Anna Gordon. And to know much about what she does and her details and how you can access her services, you have to go. I will highly recommend you to go on career freedom. Am I pronouncing it right? It's careerfreedom.com. Now I work with a team in here, and when I pronounce stuff, they go, that was wrong. So I needed to make sure that I'm pronouncing the right words. Careerfreedomcoach.com. Her name is Anna Gordon. There's a 15 minutes discovery call you can make, and you can connect with her, go on her website and do that. But Anna, as we wind down our conversation, I'd love you to speak to that person who's looking at making a career change, has worked a particular industry or sector for a while, looking at making a career change, but not too sure what to do, who to speak to. What do they do? What would you recommend they do? And what would you say the steps they would have to take when it comes to that shift in their lives? Please to you.
So career change can be daunting, but it's incredibly liberating. It's wonderful when it happens.
Yes.
And, you know, people often decide that they want to change career when they just feel that there's no more space for them to grow where they are. Or they've got that kind of grumbly feeling that they just can't put their finger on, that something isn't right. And it's usually their values aren't aligned anymore with what they're doing. And it's one of the first things I would do or suggest to people is they start looking at their career values. And it's not something people often do because life is busy. But it's a fantastic thing to do, to just really reflect on what are your career values. And, you know, when I work with clients, one of the first things I do is get them to complete this worksheet as some homework, where they have to drill down. They have to sort of distill down to just 3 core values. And once they've identified those, they will almost act as a kind of compass to help them when they're looking at potential careers. The other thing is to do a kind of skills and strengths audit, to get a real sense of what their personality is. What are the things that energize them? What are the things in their previous roles that absolutely drained them? And it's really important not to overthink things, because you can get stuck in your head. What you need to start doing next is a little bit of research, a little bit of experimenting, talking to people in different kinds of roles, speaking to people in your, amongst your family and friends whose opinions you trust and value. Do they see in you? Because often things are downloaded into our DNA when we're born, and we don't see it as a strength. We don't see it as a fantastic skill. But in your family or circle of friends, you are the go-to person for something. Your friends come to you for a particular thing. And that's because that's your kind of super strength, your superpower.
I like it.
So there's and then also just start to think once you've explored and started to narrow down your options, it's dipping your toes in the water a little bit, even just perhaps trying temping in that area for a little bit. Talking to people who are doing in those jobs. What's the best part of that role? What's the worst part? What do they wish someone had told them when they first started? And then once you've sort of started identifying the area that you want to move into, you need to start thinking about the relationships you need to start building. Who are the people you need to talk to? Where do these people hang out? What is the message you want to them to know about you? And where can you find them? It's just really important to start thinking about, what is your personal brand saying about you? Is it saying that you'd make a fantastic candidate for a job in this sector, or is it saying something totally different? So you need to think about what your personal brand is saying. What is that your personal brand is your unique source, I like to call it.
Mm.
And when you apply for a role or you send your CV through to someone, one of the first things they're going to do is look for you online. What's your digital footprint saying? Is it saying that this makes perfect sense for you to be applying for this role? Or is it saying something totally different? So there's lots of things to think about. And working with a coach can help you identify those things and get you to sort of start working on them.
The first time I spoke to you, two things jumped at me, and I tell you here is almost 8. The first time we had a conversation, authenticity, and the second thing that jumped at me was authenticity again. That came through.
Well, that's really touched me, Kojo. That's so
No,
nice.
honestly, the first time we spoke, I love the way you spoke and the heart and the truth that you brought to the table, and how you genuinely you're interested in your clients and you're looking out for them. And I love the fact that there's a career freedom thing. You have the person, you have the client at heart, and you see them as human beings. And I love the fact that you said you don't just bamboozle them with stuff. You give them that bespoke service, understanding that you are a human being with hopes, with dreams, with fears, and you hold their hands through. And I would want to sincerely thank you. Want to thank you for coming through, guys. I would really want to say you got to go on her website. Her name is Anna Gordon. And you go on Google and you search Career Freedom Coach. She will be the first person that will pop up. Anna, as we wind off and we finalize our conversation, what is the one thing that you would tell that person who is looking at that career freedom as we begin to walk out of our conversation? Over to you, Anna.
I would say believe in yourself. You've got a huge amount to offer. It's just working out what that is and being able to present it.
Her name is Anna Gordon. She comes from careerfreedomcoach.com. The first time, as I said, the first time I met this woman, her sense of authenticity, the truth, and what she brings to the table was what really drew me closer to what she does. She also works on the coaching pod, where she's a community director or manager there. And if you haven't signed on to go on the community coach, the coaching pod, I would suggest you go on the coaching pod also. But Anna comes from careerfreedomcoach.com. You go on there, every information on there is of value. Three things that jumped to me: the career values, your career values, skills audit. Look at your skills audit. What is it that you got to edit, audit, get out of the system so that it would not interfere with what you are looking at doing? The third thing she talked about: researching the industry, speaking to people. Who do I need to speak to? Where do I have to go? Who do I have to speak to hold my hands? But I would highly recommend you get a coach. As I said to you, I went into an environment of work or a particular area of work when I had not had coaching. And I saw how people who had coaching had excelled, and how they excelled. Very soon or later on in my career, I had to go for coaching and get the support. But I would suggest you get a coach. If you haven't looked at getting a coach, a career coach, I would recommend Anna Gordon. Go on her website, www.careercoach.com, and you get the content. At least check out the 15 minutes career, the discovery course. See how you can get support and see how your hands can be held. It's been wonderful. It's been beautiful. My name is Kojo Bonti Amwako. I have enjoyed this bit of our conversation. I'll be coming to you quite soon. I would say to you this: if you are looking at transferring money to your loved ones across the continent of Africa or the Caribbean, look at World Remit. But I say to you, if you are looking at having any career extension, any career move, if you are looking at changing, switching, looking at how you can extend yourself and be more effective in that area of work, and you are looking at advancing yourself in your career, I would suggest you get yourself a coach. And the one we spoke to, or the one we're speaking to, and the one who just spoken to us is the one I would suggest you go to. Once again, Anna, thank you for coming through. And I want to thank our listeners for their time and also coming through. I want to thank the production team, Sina, Carrie, Terry, Allegro, for the brilliant work that they've done so far. I am glad we'll be coming to you next time quite soon. My guest today has been Anna Gordon from www.careerfreedomcoach.com. Once again, do you have yourself a fruitful and a beautiful, fantastic week ahead. And I'll be with you soon, and take care, and bye-bye for now. Anna, thank you for your time, and bye-bye for now. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Kojo.
Bye.
Look at your hands. Look at them. Look how far they've come. They've grown. They've learnt. They've loved. They've lost. They've loved again. Your hands have worked, struggled, created and mastered. They worked hard for this. It was worth it. With World Remit, you can instantly send money abroad, knowing that you're in safe hands. World Remit. Money in safe hands.